Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one actually comes from True Off My Chest, and it is one of these.
Spicy story.
Title of this one is, My Ex Got Revenge on Me in the Worst Way Possible, and I Have No Way to Clear My Name. Last year, I cheated on my ex-girlfriend of 8 years, Annie, with a colleague, Jess, who I now have a 3-week-old son with. I have no excuse. It cost me my job and the majority of my friendships, along with the love of a good woman. I deserved it all, and I have never expected any sympathy for my actions. Annie delivered my stuff to my parents' house before I even knew she knew about the cheating. She didn't even confront me. She just cut me out of her life without a word. I messaged everyone we knew, begging them to ask for her to talk to me. And I sent hundreds of messages telling her how much I regretted everything and I wanted her back. I never got a response. Jess saw the messages, and it obviously caused issues between us in the beginning, but she fell pregnant quickly, so we moved past it for the sake of our family together. I like it when people say, fell pregnant. It's like, you talk about it like it's an illness. It's like you fell ill, or like she fell with COVID. No, it's a baby. It's not a sickness. So we moved past it for the sake of our families together, which we both wanted. I am 100% committed to the relationship and haven't even looked at another woman since things settled down. In the final stretch of Jess's pregnancy about a month ago, I saw Annie in a shop for the first time since the breakup. She was pretty cold towards me, but said that a few months ago she found a keychain my granddad got me when I was very young. It's not valuable, but she knows it means a lot to me, and she said I could come collect it the following Saturday morning. I explained that was 6 days after Jess was due to give birth, so I'd probably need to be home, but she just said I could either get it on Saturday or it was going in the bin, so I agreed a time to go over. You're smarter than that, OP. Come on now. My son was born a few days late, but he's perfectly healthy and wonderful, so he was less than 24 hours old on the Saturday I needed to collect the keychain. I planned to pop in on the way to the hospital, but when I got to my old house, Annie invited me in to talk about how things ended between us. I thought we had a good conversation and that both of us walked away with closure. She let me apologize for the way that I treated her, wished me the best with my new family, and hugged me as I left. I admit I held on tightly for the hug, but it was purely because of a relief, not lingering feelings. I spent less than an hour at her house, then headed to the hospital. I didn't tell Jess about any of this because I know she still feels insecure about Annie, and I didn't want to add fuel to that. You didn't tell her because you knew she would be unhappy? So why did you do this? When I arrived at the hospital after seeing Annie, Jess had revoked my access, and the ward manager wouldn't tell me why. I ended up being removed by a security guard because I was denied seeing my son for the second time ever, and I didn't respond well to being blindsided. I tried calling Jess and her mom over and over, and the only response I got was a screen recording of a message from Annie. It was a doorbell footage of me walking through the door at 9:30 and then back out just after 10:15. And the hug is only partly caught, so it does look like we could have been kissing. The message Annie sent with it said, "Did he even shower and change his clothes between me and holding his son? Congratulations on being stuck with him for the next 18 years. I hope it's everything you dreamed of." Whoa. Bish be diabolical. Wow. Wow. Okay. No one believes this is a setup at all. It's something I would never have expected from Annie, and no one else would either. So they're completely rejecting the idea that this is a lie. I sent her a message asking why she did this, assuming I'd still be blocked. Her response was that she wasn't going to let me play innocent, and that I may have deleted all of our messages over the past few months, but she hasn't. Whoa. If OP is being honest here, this is wild. Obviously, there are no messages, but she blocked me again straight after, so I have nothing at all to exonerate myself with. She waited in silence for almost a year, then took the most cruel and vindictive revenge she possibly could. I have met my son once, minutes after he was born, and now Jess is refusing any contact with me and won't let me see him. Court will take months, and my heart hurts every minute of every day. I know what I did to Annie was horrible, but I don't deserve this. I have no one to talk to about it because not even my own mother believes me. Her only question was why I ruined my life with a baby when Annie was willing to reconcile, and that's about the most supportive thing she said to me since I was dumped. The few friends who stuck with me are assuming the worst too, and it's killing me that not a single person I know sees this for what it is. Everything is ruined. You know what? To get some help with feedback on this, we're going to bring him up. James, a.k.a. the artist formerly known as Beer Today, now Unbearded Today. Welcome to the 2-year channelversary, brother. It's good to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Step right on up.
Step right on up there.
This This is a lot.
This is a lot.
This is a lot. This is a roller coaster of shenanigans. You were at and pack this.
Shenana coaster.
It's a shenana coaster.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for the words up in here. However, we'll just chunk it out. One, sometimes there are consequences for your actions. So you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes.
Right.
There is also a real concerning bit of, I get the revenge is best served cold. I mean, we're gonna be diabolical, but we've also affected a relationship with a child. The child didn't do anything to deserve this.
Yes.
Even the ex, all the people didn't deserve this. It's a bit. She went too far. This is too far. This is too much. Yeah, and I mean, we can believe. We have to take it at face value, so we believe just this. But don't mess with children, and that's what we're doing. We're ruining relationships with children, and for her to assume that he's going to be a terrible human being for the next 18 years, that's you don't get to decide that. You were hurt, move on. He's a terrible person for you, move on. Get him back some way. Don't mess with the children.
Yeah. Also, I think that in this scenario, OP, you feel like you have nothing to exonerate yourself with. You have no evidence, but like this is a guilty until proven innocent kind of thing because she's already thrown evidence to the contrary, right? However, your phone records are a pretty easy thing for you to access, and you can prove that you have not been calling and messaging her for the past several months. You can prove that. And also, you still have the messages where you did have contact with her over the past week or 2 weeks or whatever it has been. So you can prove when you did communicate and when you did not communicate with her. You could start building a case here. Your location, if you've tracked, I'd be pulling every piece of data that I have and start using it to at least document the truth right now.
But maybe we should have documented it from the beginning.
Truth.
I mean, I saw my ex. Yeah. I went to my ex's house. Like, this is an open dialogue, and you have to be honest with your partner.
I think we can at least, at minimum, do this for him.
For sure.
Going there was a brozo. He said himself, this keychain was not like an expensive heirloom kind of thing. It had sentimental value for him.
It's almost a year later, and he forgot. He didn't remember it. So how important was it? He's not painting himself good picture.
No.
Didn't do anything to mind his P's and Q's. You're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, you CYA, it's the comfort of your partner that needs to come first.
Yep.
And you have to do that, especially when the relationship didn't start on the best of terms. So he's already painted with a picture, and then he didn't do anything to fix that.
I don't know. It's just the whole, I understand that he f***ed up. He knows he f***ed up, and once his new partner fell pregnant, he says he was devoted there, and we have to take him at his word because that's the only word that we have right now. However, his ex going for the jugular and affecting his ability to have a relationship with his child is way too far. You've got to have some evil in your bones to be able to pull that off and feel completely justified. And she knowingly lied. The message that she sent about effing her was clearly a lie, and she knew it. If everything we're hearing here is truth.
But even if we assume that everything is truth, you got to be open and honest with your partner enough to know everything that's going on. Exactly. Otherwise, he's going to be assumed that she was not lying.
Right.
Because he didn't say, hey, I'm going to do this. This is where I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Here's we've been talking. That sort of thing is what you have to do if you're going to alleviate any doubt.
He's not completely innocent, and that's the problem. Because he still went over.
He still went over
and didn't tell her on purpose. So.
Even if there was nothing that happened, it was still an omission of information, and that's easy to do, but it's also really dangerous. Thou shalt not do that.
Where would you put him? How big? Okay, OP specifically. I feel like X is an ASCOM 1 here. If you're willing to take that kind of action against a child, you're an ASCOM 1. I think we probably, a lot of us agree on that. Where would you put OP for what he did, not telling her, and getting himself into the position that he's in now?
Well, you got the initial ASCON 1, which he led with that. I did a bad thing.
Right.
I'm still going to go 1.5 to get to the I'm not being honest with my partner, and it's come back to bit me in the ass.
Okay.
It's another consequence of his actions.
Gotcha.
A little overdone, but still a consequence of his actions.
Gotcha. So he's 1.5.
Call it 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2 on here. 4, well, not being honest with his partner is an ASCOM 1 thing. That was just... if he was going to do something that he felt like he couldn't be honest with her about, he shouldn't be doing it. And that's it. That's the bottom line. Now what happened to him is exponentially worse, right? And I'm sure he is shitting himself. And if this had happened, I wouldn't have allowed this to happen to me in the first place. If something like this happened to me and I wasn't allowed to have a relationship with my kids because somebody was blackmailing me for a hurt that I had caused them years and years ago, this has got to be the most lonely, sickening feeling he's ever felt.
He's definitely thinking about his life choices at this point.
Yeah.
Or at least he should be.
That's
because he's got some work to do to get back there. And I mean, eventually he'll be able to, if he is a good person, will have a good relationship with his child. It's not like he disappeared off the face of the earth, but he's got work to do.
A lot of work to do.
You got a lot of work to do.